I am very fortunate to have Carlos Camacho Psychologist and dear friend in here for a chat. Hi, Carlos.
Hi, Deb. We're like a duet too, aren't we?
We are, aren't we?
Deb and Carlos.
Yes, we have so much fun together.
I love coming in here.
So we love having you too. So do our listeners.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to chat a bit about not ever giving up today, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a wonderful subject matter, isn't it? And there's been a lot written about it, many movies made about them, and poems and
songs.
Yeah, and we really admire situations that people are in and they don't give up.
Yeah, because they can be very trying. I've been going through something where I was living, in a place that was very depressing for 3.5 years, and really to a point where I was thinking, I just feel like I'm just about to give up, just so depressed. And I finally got to move.
That's fantastic.
Just when you think, I kept wishing and hoping, and you can say praying to gods and my guides and my angels, please, 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 can I just be on the ground? Can I be out of there? And it happened for me. So that's what I thought I'd ask you a bit about, how we can keep going when we're at that point.
Yeah, that's right. And hope is very important, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have to do the work, though. We have to do the work and try as much as possible to change things in our lives. And then obviously remain hopeful like you did. And things happen eventually, but you've got to do the hard work. You can't just sit back. I think people that are very good at not giving up, they're just very proactive. You get up in the morning, you have a problem to resolve. You've thought about it with a clear head. You've made a bit of a plan. And now you just have to execute it. It's a little bit like a sports coach, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
And sometimes it doesn't work out.
And strategies.
That's right, because you're giving yourself the best possible opportunity to succeed. So, and as we know, life doesn't always work out the way we wish, and that's why it's important to have hope with the plan. But you got to have the plan, and I'm sure you had a plan. I'm sure you actually did all the work before that as well. Yeah,
I did the best I could, and I think you have to keep yourself healthy and keep yourself active, keep exercising, don't you, when you're feeling like that, just to keep going.
That's right. I think it's very powerful when we have a goal in mind.
Yes.
It's very powerful. So it's possible, and therefore you've got a plan, and not giving up. All it means really is just sticking to the plan, sticking to your goal.
Yeah.
Every day you remind yourself of why you want to do this, whatever it may be, and therefore it's easy to move forward. Now, there will be times where you just had enough.
Yeah, and you just think, but as you said, you've got to keep being proactive, because if you sit back and think, I've had enough, and then... That's right.
I think it's important to differentiate how we think, because when we're clear-headed, right, when we are clear-headed and we sit down with ourselves, with nothing else, just our own mind, and work out, look, this is what I want to do. I'm in a clear headspace at the moment, you work it out, done. Then there will be times where you don't feel that clear and you wish to give up. It's not a good idea to make a choice then.
Okay.
Do not make a decision when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're depressed, when you're anxious and so forth, because you've already gone through that, and with a clear mind you've worked out, this is the best thing for me. So get back to why you made that decision, and therefore let that time pass. Just let that moment, it's only a moment that we feel like that. Then suddenly an hour later or the next day, you wake up and you see things as you did that first time, and you just keep going.
Very true. And if you have to wait a long time, you've got to keep focusing, don't you, and just keep going and be distracted by something that's good for you while you're waiting.
That's exactly right. And time is relative, isn't it? Time really doesn't even exist.
It doesn't.
According to the quantum physicists and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like people say to me, I would love to study that, but it's going to take me 4 years. Well, 4 years is going to come anyway.
It is, isn't
so
it?
So it's like if you're waiting for something. For example, if you, in your case, if you're waiting to be in a better place, in residing in a nicer area, whatever it may be, that time, if it's going to take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, those years are going to come.
And they're going to go by anyway, aren't
that's
they?
right.
No matter what.
The only difference is that if you put in the work, then you're going to get a result at the end of that time. And so a lot of people, we tend to believe unconsciously that, it's a long time, I won't do it. But that time's coming. You can't stop time. You're still living throughout that time. And therefore, sure, you have this goal, but in the meantime, life's still ticking away. And you have to make the best of it, because once that does get resolved, you can't go back to that time. Those 3 years, that 1 hour, whatever it is that you've lost, just waiting for something to happen, you do not get back. So it's important to have a goal, but remind yourself, this is still my life. I'm going to live it to the fullest.
Good on you. You're so wise. How did you get to be like that?
I'm just repeating what other people say. That's just all in Rocky V. You get up, you get hit, and you get back up.
Okay, yeah. Good on you, Carlos. Thanks for coming in.
I loved it. I loved it.
You had a bit of an experience where you've written it in Goodbye Charlie, your book, your first book, didn't you?
Yeah, and it just happens to be now 7 years since I wrote this book, so I published it, and almost to the day. So when I spoke to you earlier in the week and we decided to research on this subject, I thought, I'm going to bring my original book back and give a couple away for those that want to, because in a way it's part of what I went through at a time in my life that was difficult, and I look back on it in a way that, look, that was part of my life.
It's an experience.
I got through it, and I wouldn't be here without it.
That's right. That's right. Well, I've learned some things. Each experience tells us something, doesn't it?
It sure
something
does.
About ourselves as well.
And it takes us on a different journey.
Yeah.
And it helps us meet new people, do different things. And in the end, life only happens the way it can happen, and that's it.
That's right. Well, thank you, Carlos. Great to see you as always.
Yeah, I love being here, and I congratulate you also on getting to where you wanted to be.
Thank you, Carlos. And you're giving away how many books?
I thought 3. I'm going to give you out 3 today. 3
of part 1, Goodbye Charlie.
Yeah, this is the first and the
book.
original one. The first one I published. That's why it's close to my heart. And it's also a bit about that, about the battle and not giving up.
Good on you, Carlos. And you chose Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, didn't you?
What an incredible song. It's such a beautiful song.
Beautiful. Don't give up. See you next time, Carlos.
For sure.